The Illustrator workspace is very similar to the InDesign in the Photoshop workspace in the sense that you have tools to the left, you have panels to the right, and a control panel up top. Let's go ahead and create a new document. In the new document window, we have a number of artboards. You can specify the number, and then you can choose whether or not you want to view them by grid by row, grid by column, arrange by row, or arrange by column. I usually just let this default to grid by row. Spacing is the spacing between each artboard, and here we have the width and the height of the artboard. You can quickly change this in InDesign, which is nice, the ruler increments. Unfortunately, you can't do that quickly in InDesign, but you can in Illustrator. So for example, if I wanted to view this in points, I could. Again, I believe that inches is the best way to do so. So your color mode, generally CMYK is going to be your best color mode for Illustrator. You can go ahead and just say that there's a 0 bleed, and we're going to say OK. There are 3 artboards. Each are spaced about 0.28 away from each other of an inch, and this provides me with a nice working space. I do have my tools to the left. There are tool tips that pop up each time I hover over each tool. You'll notice there's these little tiny arrows in the lower right hand corner. If you click and hold them, it brings hidden tools, and you can actually do a tear off by hovering over this and bringing this as a panel right into your workspace. I can work with type, I can work with area type, type on a path, vertical type, vertical area type, and vertical type on a path. Close right out of that. To delete it, you can always get it back by going back to the tool. Right now my toolbar is anchored to the left. I can click it, bring it right into my space, change its orientation to double. You've got, I believe this one only has 2 settings, which is single and double. Over here, the panels are anchored to the right. I have my document control panel up top. It is context sensitive. If you look at when I'm clicking on the type tool, it shows me everything that I need to see with regard to type as it's related to type. And if I click on the selection tool, things change around here. I have a little more different options available to me. Now, a few other parts also change. If you seem to navigate around the tools, you can see that. So if I want to go back to the panels, excuse me, and pull the panels out, there might be certain panels that I work with more in Illustrator, such as the layers, swatches. I can hover over each panel. One turns invisible, and I see a cyan color line. That means that they're ready to be grouped. I let go, and now they are floating panels that are grouped. I might want to show my stroke as well, which is an outline, and that I work with quite often. The others I can close. This is the workspace I prefer. My panels have additional options under the horizontal lines and the baby little arrow here. You can click on that and always find more options, but like flattening your artwork, your panel options down here, and stroke. You can show additional options that have to do with stroke within the panel. And if you want to hide them, you can hide them. And most every panel has this. You can hide or view more options. Hide all layers, lock layers. There's a lot of different things that you can do in each one of the panels under the More Options area. Okay, so right now I am default to Printing and Proofing Workspace. I can always go under Window, Workspace, and go to Essentials, and that changes my workspace entirely. Again, I'd have to customize the way that I want, and I can do that at any time in the document as long as I save. So the panels can be closed out. They can be anchored to the right-hand side by hovering over the top. They can be minimized, opened up, resized. This is kind of a general quick way of understanding how to navigate in the Adobe Illustrator workspace. I'll see you in the next video.